Terrell Stewart, a.k.a. Sheepdog, and the title of today's show is Unkut.
Right.
So what do you think led you into the same lifestyle of like the game? Was you just born in it?
But I grew up watching the police kick in the door. They kicked in the door one time when my father, he come off 40 block.
Okay.
They stayed on Belzar.
Okay.
So they kicked in the door one day and I was standing by. They bust my head wide open. I was a baby. You know, me being from where I'm from and doing the things I've done, let me just tell you the truth, okay?
The streets of Vegas.
DJ D.Fos, the streets of Vegas, broadcasting live from Las Vegas's premier podcast and media network, Vegas Hype Media Network. I want to welcome to my show today, Terrell Stewart. What's up with you, bro? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm blessed. How you doing?
Oh, man, good, man. Good to finally catch up to you, man. This brother, man, I came across some of his content on the YouTube algorithm. It just kind of sent me a video one day, and it was Vegas Chronicles, right? And I'm like,
Absolutely.
man, he's talking some stuff I kind of know about, you know, a little bit about the Gerson and a little bit about some other stuff. So I said, okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna keep an eye on his page. I'm gonna check him out later on, right? You had a lot of content too, bro, a lot of content. So then later on, we got a mutual friend, Kev Loke, which I didn't even know. Kev had hit me up and was like, hey, man, you need to check this cat out. You need to probably have him on the show. And I'm like, okay, who you talking about? So it was you. And I'm like, okay, that's a small world. I had already been looking at this stuff anyway. So I said, you know what? Let's try to set that up and make that happen. So definitely shout out to Kev Loke.
Absolutely.
For making the connect, man, and you know, linking us up and everything,
Absolutely.
man. So once again, welcome to the show. Terrell Stewart, aka Sheepdog. And the title of today's show is Unkut.
Right.
We just gonna get uncut and raw with it, man. First of all, man, give us a little backstory, man, about, you know, from where it all started, man. I understand you little Sheepdog, right?
Yeah, I'm the son.
Okay, so take us back to Big Sheepdog. That was Pops, right?
Yeah, that was the founder.
Okay.
My daddy, Big Sheepdog, you know, he was the originator, the founder of what is known as Gerson Park, but at the same time, he is actually the first actual authentic gang member in Vegas.
Okay.
You know, he was a part of a association or a group or a gang, whatever you want to call it. It was called the Associates.
Associates, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And during that era, there were no such thing as Bloods, Crips, and none of that. You had three gangs. Yeah,
Okay,
it was the Associates, which was my father. There was actually a car club.
Okay.
And then you had the Funkadelics, a bunch of dudes that was just, you know, perm wearing like, you know.
That was
and then
that
you had,
early 80s era. Like
that was in the 70s.
70s, okay.
Yeah, and then you had the Byron Boys, which was Greg and Vince Turpin.
Okay.
You know, and Vince is a little older than my father. But see, the Byron Boys and the Byron Girls were not violent. They were just, you know, just like a club,
Like
a group.
clubs.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know.
okay.
And what the Associates did was they brought the violent element to it. See, when they went to parties, my daddy like Tookie and Cali. He was known for taking his shirt off, posing, whatever. My daddy, you know, he was known for turning the party out, meaning that he either jumped on the table and did some crazy, grabbed some female buyer behind, or just knock somebody out.
Something to set it off. Something
Set
to
it
set
off. And he became known for that. So when you seen the Associates coming, they wore blue jean jackets, blue jeans, you know, that was their gear.
Okay.
You know, so when you seen them coming, it was going to be a altercation.
It was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
It was going to be a problem.
And I think around like 77, they had the helicopter incident when my father and him shot the helicopter down in the Gerson.
Shot it down out the
Took
sky?
it out, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And in 79, they 86 my father out of the state of Nevada. They sent him to California. He was not allowed to come back here.
Couldn't come back. Like
To the-
86 foot.
To the day he died, he was not allowed in the state of Nevada.
Wow.
Because
man. He did so much stuff.
He was a beast, man. I was with him on a couple occasions. He was shot up. I watched my uncle shoot him in the neck with a .357. I don't want to get into that because my mom's
uncle? That was his brother?
No, my mama's brother. He was assaulting my mama, and he shot him point blank range in the neck with a .357. He jumped up and ran. But you know, see what people don't understand about Herbert Gerson. It's the oldest gang in Vegas. Okay.
Now, was it the same geographic area? Like, I know it from Lake Mead to like what? Is that like the Cary? Was it the same square?
Yeah, it was
that same area?
It's Lake Mead, Martin Luther King, Comstock, and Belzar. It's set right in between that on the opposite side of College Heights, which you know is 40 block.
40 block. That's
and
what
then
I
on
was
the
gonna
other
say.
side is what you call Vegas Heights.
Okay. So
the
it was
Gerson
that
set in
whole
the middle.
grid.
Okay. And after my father left, Nathaniel Morrison, which they call him Migo, he's the original Puncho. He's two Punchos from the Gerson.
I was about to say it's two. Okay, I was about to ask you about that.
Okay, him and Ronald and Donald, Pookie Red, Donald Bird, Booger Bear, Big Dave Hall, Master G, Pro Hound, the Graves, all them, they started what was known as Ace of Spades. Now that became the first, what you can say, like the Crips. They became the first gang solidified in Gerson.
Real
you know
gang.
what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay.
But this was before they was called Gerson, right? It was just Ace of Spades.
Exactly. It was Ace of Spades, and and this is when the insignia started coming. They insignia were LTDs. They all drove LTDs. So if you seen a caravan of LTDs, you knew them was Ace of Spades.
It was mobbing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now after the Ace of Spades came out, and they came out like after my father left in 79, so they came out like 80, 81. Okay. After them came the GQs, Gentlemen's Quarters.
GQs.
That was started by Carl Wesley.
Okay.
Now they didn't have no handle neither because they was a dance group. They was some Michael Jackson looking dudes.
Diamond glove like
wearing,
Ready for the World, looking with the curls and all.
Real good, hung out
so
the
there wasn't no violent element to it at that time.
They was some Michael Jackson dudes that just can fight. You know, and everybody was GQs. Because they was debonair. Everybody.
And they was GQs was like, from what I understand, they was in Northtown, right?
No, they just was in the North. They started in Northtown.
Oh, okay.
You had to see. You had the GQs in Northtown. You had the sevens was called Front Street. The 104s was called Back Street. And you had the threes, the trades. But they started on Donna. They went from Donna. They migrated to Bonanza Village. They was the baby GQs in Bonanza Village. In Paru Turf, they was West Side GQs. And in Sydney Sioux, they were Sydney Sioux GQs.
Sydney Sioux, the street city.
Yeah, that's what Tangy, Mad Meech, aka Pony Boy, Baby Huey,
they
and
had
all
a lot
them
of
come
area
from.
then. They had
Everybody wanted to be GQs. The 50s, which is UCCs, the undercover Crips. They was actually influenced by GQ Main Cheney. So, you know, anything that was not of GQ influence was like the War Babies. Which was in Valley View. That was my cousin Mackie Allen and all
Mackie,
them.
I remember you said R.I.P. Mackie.
That's
man.
my
I didn't know that
cousin.
was
Mackie,
cousin.
Ricky, Tanya. Yeah, my daddy's an Allen. And he's Allen, Shepherds, Conways, Banks. They're my family. You know. But yeah, like the GQs, like you know, the areas they didn't occupy was like Delmonico. The Macamos, and they was BTDs. TT, Brian Macamo, all them. And then you had the OGs, which is Serpo them. They occupy like Bonanza, Burgundy Square and all that. See, they wasn't GQs, but everything else was GQ.
Everything else.
Yeah. And in Marble Manor, you had West Coast Crips.
Okay. And that's like Marble Manor's over there, kind of like.
That's the oldest project. It was built
like
in
off Washington, kind of like in that. Washington, and it's still standing, from what I understand.
It's the oldest neighborhood in Las Vegas. It was built in 1953. Herbert Gerson was put up in 1964. We the oldest gang, but they the oldest project. And after us, the gang that came after us, it wasn't the GQs. I just said the GQs because they're black. But the gang that came after the Ace of Spades was 28th Street. 28th Street. That's the second oldest gang.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy, man. Yeah. That is crazy. And so when your pops left, you like when he was banned from the state, you was a shorty, right?
I was a baby. Yeah.
Okay.
I was 5.
And so what do you think led you into the same lifestyle of like the game? Was you just born in it? Was it just what do you think? Like what led you into that lifestyle? Was it because you were just around it or what?
You know, that's always been my curse and my blessing. You know, when I was with my father, you know, it's really hard for me to talk about this, but I have to. When I was born, man, my father had me for the first 4 years of his life. I don't want to get into that. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to hurt my mom. You know, it is what it is.
I feel you.
But I grew up watching the police kick in the door. They kicked in the door one time when my father, he come off 40 block. They stayed on Belzar. So they kicked in the door one day and I was standing by. They bust my head wide open. I was a baby. They kicked the door in and bust my head wide open. Yeah, I was slid across the floor.
Had nothing to do with it.
No, North Las Vegas. And my aunties and my grandma beat the brakes off that dude up in that house.
Did they?
He bust my head wide open. And then my daddy came from the back room, and when he seen me, it was all bad. You know, it was all bad. I watched them run my father over, put him in the back of the car, and just drive off and leave me right there.
Oh, that's cold.
Yeah,
they didn't care. They was rawed in,
yeah,
man.
but
Yeah.
I grew up seeing it. So when I became of age, I wasn't Terrell. I never been Terrell. I was Lil Sheep.
A little sheep. Okay.
I never got a person wouldn't dare jump me in no gang.
Okay.
My father is the gang.
Born into it.
Yeah. I'm royalty.
Born into it. Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
I've seen and got to go places. People my age wouldn't dare. I was smoking Sherm when I was 12. I was strung out
12
on.
years old.
Listen,
Who introduced you to that though? How did you even know like what that was? Who introduced you to that? Be like
my daddy. Well, I grew up 2 doors down from the Sherm house. In the 70s, I stayed in Gearson Circle. Al and Raymond Williams, they came from California.
Okay.
And they bought PCP when it was, you know, the mint leaves dipped in Sherm, not the Sherm stick. It was the mint leaves when it was angel dust.
Okay.
They bought that to the Gerson. And my daddy got strung out on that. You know, a lot of guys got strung out on PCP and the Gerson.
Yeah.
That's why they was acting like that in the 70s.
Tripping.
And people was like, don't go over there. And that's why we became the most hated area.
The Gerson did?
Yeah, that's why gangs became into existence because of the Gerson. It's to stop us from taking over and bullying people. You know what I mean? That's what we did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the GQs were more like they attracted women.
Okay.
You know,
it was more the fly boys and all that. Yeah.
They know how to pop lock. We went from our hair was nappy, our eyes was red, and our lips was white, and we was stealing everything that wasn't bolted down.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they call us the Dirty Herbie Gerson.
Okay. Dirty Herbie Gerson. Yeah.
You know, because we had a basketball team called the Kingsmen.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Now
is that when they was called GPK too?
Gus started that.
Okay.
The term GPK. See, after the Ace of Spade came the Gerson Park Killers.
Okay.
And that was like Kenny Mac, Dirty Rob.
That was like another era. Dirty Rob, R.I.P. Dirty Rob.
Dirty
He
Rob,
passed,
Robert
right?
Austin,
Okay.
the Austin brothers. You know, that's a noble family in the Gerson.
Okay.
You know, he was.
My wife did his funeral too.
Yeah,
Dirty Rob.
That was one of the dudes that took me under his wing.
Really?
I grew
so
up
he was older than you.
He way older than me.
Is okay.
Yeah, but you know, that's my father's little homeboy. So he made sure that he treated me the way he felt my father would treat me. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, it wasn't the right way. You know, I was out there smoking Sherm with them dudes and holding rifles. You know, when I got caught with my first gun when I was 13 years old. Police almost killed me when I was 13.
13.
Yeah, I almost got killed on 3 occasions. They caught me pulling on 3 occasions. That's why I don't buy this false narrative that all police. You know, listen, I'm not pro police. I'm not anti police. You know, I'm like this here. If you a good dude, you're a good dude. I don't give a damn about no uniform.
Right.
If you for the solution and not the problem, then you're a good person.
You're a good person.
It don't matter your flesh or what you wearing.
Right. It's the character of the individual. Yeah.
You know,
outside of what you do for a living.
Absolutely. You know, me being from where I'm from and doing the things I've done, let me just tell you the truth, okay? We'll cut through the bullshit, all right? I have done more damage, hurt, harm to black people than Metro, North Las Vegas, Boulder, or Henderson combined could ever do by myself.
By yourself.
So I'm the real racist. I'm
to your own people.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. If you really want to fix this problem with little black boys dying, then it's up to me. You know why? Because one thing that I always had, they gave me the advantage over that person's mother, the pastor, or the police. So I had influence. Because your son 9 times out of 10 gonna want to be like me than you.
Right. Yeah.
He gonna want to he see me walking around like I don't got to do nothing. He see me not going to school. He see people get out my way when I walk across the street. He like that. He don't want to go to school. He don't want to come in when the lights on.
He see what it. Yeah.
And he telling me F you. He seeing me beat people up. He looking for that. He might not have it at home because he probably have a single mother. You know, so he look for that, and it attracts him. So people like me need to use that same influence and go back in. And like I told
use
you,
it the right way.
Take the guns out the backpack and put the books back up in them. The police can't do that, and that's why we keep having these unfortunate situations because we want them to clean up our mess.
Yeah.
I know what
it starts at home. It starts at home.
It starts at home, and it starts with us. I was really out there in the streets. I did 20 years for murder. I'm the reason why the Donna streets.
And so when did you go in and when did you get out?
I went in 1992 and got out in 2012.
So you was how old? Like what?
I was 17 when I went out. I was 37. I was 17 when I went in. I was 37 when I got out.
Your whole manhood, that whole.
Yeah.
What would you say transformed your life in that period? Because when you came out, you was obviously you was did you have the same mentality, or was you a different person? I mean, that's a long time, bro. Like,
oh well, I had to go through multiple changes. See, I was a real hardhead, man. When you're a certain person's son, you know.
Did you feel you had to live up to that?
Yeah.
To the sheep, the legacy of that.
I had to be harder than him, you know, because you know, no matter what I did, I was still a sheep, and I didn't want to be a sheep. I wanted to make a name for myself, but no matter what I did, they expected me to do it because I was his son.
Okay.
So I started doing things they expected me not to do, and that's when I gave me the name Demon. Yeah. And that's why if I take off my hat, you see the horns on my head. I wanted to change the curriculum in the wrong way, so I started just being violent toward everything. COs, my own homeboys, could nothing trust me. You know what I mean? But I had to really go through years and years of pain, physically and mentally. I've been stabbed twice, pronounced dead. I got stabbed in my eye in a riot.
Was that in the joint?
In 1994, the Cali boys and the Vegas car went to war in Northern Nevada Correction Center. And I and a guy by the name of Leonard Harvey from the hood got stabbed up. And like I say, you know, that when I got stabbed in 1994, that was the beginning of what later was known as Biscuits and Gravy, the Blood and Gerson Alliance.
Okay. They kind of clicked up.
Yeah, and it went to the streets, and it became West Ride. It became West Side Ride. But it started in the pen as Biscuits and Gravy. And it was, you know, and from that, the North consolidated and started Northtown Family.
Northtown. And that was like what we spoke about earlier. That was
the Donna streets,
Donnas,
the HTHs, the ABM, the NTGs, the White Streets, anything that's under the North banner.
So they was kind of forming like these super cliques. Like, okay.
It was we were side banging, and the only person that stayed out of that side banging was the Rolling 60s because they claimed they rolling.
Okay.
You know,
the Rolling 60s, that really wasn't a Vegas. Was that like a Cali gang that came to Vegas, or what? Was that like?
Yeah, it was started it's from Vegas, and as a matter of fact, what a lot of people don't understand is that Rolling 60s didn't start in Crips City. It started on 40 Block.
40 Block.
Acorn and Mad Dog them came out here. They started that on 40 Block. Crips City, when the Rolling 60s was out here, were Crips City gangsters. Okay. And 40 Block, before they was 40 Block, they were 40 Boys.
40 boy. Now, where did the 40 come? I never understood where the 40 come from.
It comes from 40 Boys. There was a bunch of dudes, just like the GQs. They was not gang affiliated. Bob Green, Buzzo, is the founder of 40 Boys.
Okay.
There was a bunch of guys that walked around with Jerry curls. That drunk 40 ounces.
40 ounces. Okay, that's what 40 Block. Okay.
They would actually, the 40 Boys was the first clique.
The first clique.
Yeah, because a lot of 40 Boys was like when they became 40 Block in 1989. They became 40 Block.
Okay, and then Block was cross carry, right? That was the other side, because you got like because the Gerson was over here, but then when you cross carry, was that 40 Block right there?
No, that's Comstock.
That's Comstock. Okay,
you cross Comstock right across, and that's 40 Block. Okay. Now in 1989, they became 40 Block, right? Okay. And now what put 40 Block on the map is, I think 91 they killed a guy by the name of QB Dior. Shaky Loke from Rolling 60s. He got killed. They was finna shoot up a football game between the Gersons and the Donnas. And some fire erupted. He ended up getting shot in the head in the car. All right, and if the 60s found out the 40 boy G-Man, Jero did it. And so he went to prison for it. So the 60s declared war on the block. So what it actually did is make a bunch of dudes that wasn't really bangers start gang banging. Because the 60s was coming over there spraying it up. And we had to assist them until they got their arsenal up. You know, and that's when they was rocking the black flag. But when they became 40 Block, they dropped the black flag and they picked up the brown one. Because it kind of emulated the 40-ounce bottle.
40 ounce, You know,
let me just keep it real with you.
That's crazy how that came from that, man. When as you look back now, man, I mean, obviously you've transformed and changed your life. Is there any regret in the life you lived, man? Or that would you do it any different if you had a chance? Or do you feel that was your destiny, that was your fate?
I don't question God. I used to, but I won't change nothing, because if I didn't go through what I went through, I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you. I had to go through. King David had to go through what he had to go through.
That's true.
Who had more blood on his hands than King David?
Right.
You know, and when God got through it with him, even Jesus was said he'd come from the bloodline of David, right?
Come from the bloodline.
Okay, I was a warrior my whole life, but God knew He had a mission for me. And it wasn't to destroy my people. When I mean people, I mean righteous people. It ain't just black people. I'm focused on black people because to me, a person can't tell me nothing about when it comes to depression, frustration, low self-esteem, no self-image.
You witnessed every phase.
I
of
didn't
it, man.
felt it.
Yeah.
You know, that inner hatred that I want to blame on a white man. Every time something happened, my tooth hurt, the white man that put something in my if I stump my foot, they out there fracking. You know, and we want to put everything on a white man. But I'm gonna tell you something. Let's look at Black Lives Matter. Let's keep it real.
Okay.
Look, okay, say we got what we want.
Okay.
Let's say we defund the police. Okay, you can't come in our neighborhood no more. Okay. Do you think little Ray still go stop shooting that little JoJo?
Right, and it ain't gonna stop.
Okay, so what we need to do is stitch the wound up from the inside. See, we suffering from eternal bleeding, but we want to stitch the wound up from the outside and blame it on everybody else while we continue to bleed on the inside. So until we take a harsh look at what we've done, because if anybody
as a community, okay.
Remember Malcolm X went in charge and he said that the United States should be bought up for crimes against humanity for what they. Okay, if anybody need to be sent to the head, it's us, young black boys, for what we have done to other young black boys. The police, whenever they kill an unarmed black man, sure, you know that's messed up. When anybody get killed unfairly, but let's just be real here. You talk microisms. Look, dude. You can't sit here and cry about no injustice when you allow 500 blacks to die in Chicago every year.
Every day.
But you're not out there screaming Black Lives Matter.
Right.
You out here burning up your building. You don't even know George Floyd.
Right.
But you know all these other kids that you see die every day, and it's business as usual. But as soon as the police do it, it's a technical foul.
Yeah.
Man, that's why there's no spirituality in our movements, and I'm not finna be out there with nobody looking like no chimpanzee burning up my own goddamn community. Now, if you want to really touch bases, let's go at these kids and take these guns out there, and that way, the police won't have to shoot them. Let's teach them how to respect themselves and authority. That way, they don't have to get through on the car. It won't be excessive force. Let's teach them to stop grabbing at their waist like trying to hold their pants up. They already tight. Why you still exactly? So my thing is, let's teach them respect for themselves, respect for authority. And you know what? It might not be a perfect place, but I promise you this year we'll get a lot more sleep. And it'll be a lot less black women burying their children.
That's true.
Because that's who we're not paying attention to. It's the black woman.
Or
the Hispanic woman.
Child, who's birthing the children. We putting them out here. Do you feel you have a call to speak to the youth, man?
I'm gonna speak to the youth. I'm just waiting for them to send me to the roughest school they think they got. And just like I shut prison yards down, do your homework on me. I shut prison yards down. I shut a school down and give me 72 hours. Put me in a rough school. I don't need no gun. Send me in a rough school.
The baddest school,
and I shut it down. They'll be on their best behavior because the big homie said so. You know, for real. And you got a guy like me that really want to do this. I don't want
really got a story to tell. Really got speaking from like life experience. I'm
gonna tell you something that's ironic, and I hope my homeboys is listening. You know, back in the days, we was so proud that I'm not gonna say his name or nothing, but remember one of the whacks shot up the Martin Luther King parade? It was in '92. You remember that they shot up the Martin? We were so happy he did that. We were so proud.
Happy he did it.
We was happy because we called it putting in work. I didn't like the truce no way. You know, it was we was trucing it with the Rodney King thing. Shot up the Martin Luther King parade, and then not too long ago, a whack got killed by the police in front of a Martin Luther King statue right there on Martin Luther King.
How ironic is that? How ironic is that?
You see how karma come get the whole
come right back. Come right back.
You see? And I'm trying to stop that. You know why? Because that, I'm not, you know what? It's so many lost little souls of black boys just roaming. And look, the war between the Gersons in the 60s alone, between Kerry and Martin Luther King, 26 dead bodies. Vegas is too small. 26 in just that area. We're not talking about
I think about the 90s era, how many people we lost to banging alone.
Oh, man, don't get me started.
That's just like, it's insane, man.
Let me tell you something, brother. What's sad and that people don't want to talk about because it'll make us look like the biggest hypocrites because we call ourselves protesting injustice. Let me tell you something. Vegas Heights, it's wiped out.
It's wiped out.
Listen, let me explain something. Not because of gentrification, not because people just decided to move away from. They dead.
They dead. They gone.
Dead. Whole gangs are dead. Wiped out. by other little black boys, not the police.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's the next generation coming up.
Yeah.
Do you think like our generation dropped the ball somewhere and like because they seeing what was going on and did they follow in the footsteps or what do you feel about that, man? Do you think what?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Everybody back in '92, for the first time in Vegas since December 4th, 1986, at the Comfort Inn, when L got killed. That's when banging really kicked back up in Vegas. The GQs died off. There were no NTGs. There were no Donnas. There was none of that.
None of that.
In '86, when the West Coast Bloods first was really coming out, they killed L. Okay, and that sparked the war between the Gersons and the West Coast Bloods. That basically woke banging back up in Vegas.
But y'all was cool at one point.
We were never. We'll see. The West Coast Bloods was never. When the West Coast Crips died off, it was no blood element over there.
Okay.
What,
I see what you're saying.
What turned them to Bloods was the Pirus started coming through there like Big Red and Half Dead and all them. You know, even some West Coast Bloods, like people think Big Bo from Piru is a West Coast Blood. Bo Gordon, which is Boo Rock brother from West Coast Blood. He a Piru. His name is Lazy P. But the Pirus had a lot of influence over there.
Okay.
So you can basically say the Pirus is the reason why West Coast Crips turned West Coast Blood. You see, so we never really got along with them over there, but we used to come over there and try to push our weight. We walked through there a couple times. We didn't walk through the 80 guy. We didn't beat
80
up
got all that. That's still right there.
That's still right there. You know, and what got L killed was that when they decided to become Bloods, it was Gerson's living over there, and so they started beating them up. And they jumped on one particular one. His name was Bad Mike. They jumped on Bad Mike, and the whole Gerson came over there. That's what initiated a conflict that led to L getting killed.
God,
okay, now after L got killed, shortly after L get killed, you have Donna Street Crip rising up.
Okay,
and
it's
people
DSC.
Now people don't know this. That DSC.
Then DSC that was after GQs. This is like next eras of Donna,
GQ because the GQs died off. There were really no more GQs left.
They did kind of fade off. Huh?
Yeah, because the Sydney Sue GQs became Sydney Sue Gangsta Crips. Okay. And the West Side GQs that was in Madison Terry became Pirus. The Pirus is a combination of the Bang Bang Gang and the West Side GQs. They came together and they formulated Piru.
Okay. That's how Piru got started.
And I'm going to let them tell their story because I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But another thing, the NTGs was started by a guy named Junior from 74 Hoover. Okay. It started off like,
but that was all in that same area of Donna, right? In that same
area. All them came out at the same time. The ABMs came out in 88 and 89. White Street was always a street. See, White Street existed even. That's Jesse Bright, David Roach, Ewack, Noel Bright, Tiger, and all them. Them guys was dope dealers. White Street was just a street in the north that people sold drugs on.
I've seen that street over there, right? Kind of off the freeway and all that kind of on the other side.
It was just a street they sold dope on. Everybody was on White Street selling dope. Okay, when Donna Street became an actual gang, they became a gang.
Oh, that's how that.
So like they rock with the Donnas. You know what I mean? So that's how they came out. You know what I'm saying? So when the Donna Streets first came out, what got us cool with them, because we never liked GQs. We was always anti-GQs. You see a quote that say GQs don't bullshit, we was at it. You know what I mean? So my thing was, when the Donnas came out, we didn't trust it. But a guy by the name of Charlie Boy, Terrell Daughtery, which is Dread Mac, you can say Foo. And you can say Duke Daddy, which is Charlie Boy's brother. Now, Charlie Boy and Duke Daddy are Graves. That means Kenny Mac, Pro Hound, and all them is they uncles. They come from the Gerson. Dread Mac, Terrell.
You know the whole family tree, man.
Terrell Daughtery, Dread Mac from Donna was a GPK.
A GPK,
That's why when Donna Street came out, the word DSC was started by a guy by the name of Danny Clark, Dan Loke. He the one came up with the term DSC. I remember it was like 5 of them. We came down there because Gersons turned DSCs. So they was like, they cool, come down here. And we like, man, we going on down. That's the last place we going. You know what I'm saying? So Because we knew them as GQs, but when they became Donna, we came down there because some of our homeboys was Donnas. Some of the first Donna streets was Gersons. That's not no lie. It's they won't lie to you. They tell you.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's what it was. And Dred Mack, Terrell Daughtery, used to wear a black rag in one pocket and a blue rag in another because he still had allegiance to the Gerson.
He was representing both.
Before he went straight Donna Crip. Because after a while, it was Donna Crip. You know what I mean? But when they was forming,
they was switching up.
Yeah, they was. Man, you'd be amazed at how many people jumped the fence.
Yeah, really.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was a lot of people want to be from Donna because it was popular. They was really.
It was hot. It was
you know,
like new kids on the block.
And we was allies, so it made the two. They became the biggest gang. They eclipsed 28th Street. The Donna became the second biggest gang, and plus they aligned with the biggest gang. Could nothing stop us. But guess what?
Well.
During the truce, right? The Rodney King truce. You want to hear some cold stuff?
What's that?
Okay, during the Rodney King truce, right? I was so shirmed out. I just got out to county jail. I was burnt out. You know, that shirm really took effect on me.
Yeah. And
when I got out, I seen Bloods, ABMs, 60s, laying in the grass in the Gerson. Like, I was like, what the? Hey, man, they cool. They the homies. No, they not. And they used to always say, man, chill. And I used to be that little red-eyed, burnt-out, curl shot out, curl look like a perm. I'm in the back with a trench coat on with a 12-gauge looking.
Ready.
I ain't with it. I don't want no peace because it ain't no fun. I don't want to get along. I want to rob something. I want to go out there.
And this was during the height of the truce.
The height of the truce. So, you know, one night at the Cotton Club, you know, we let alcohol and liquor get the best of us. And we had a fight. I got in a fight with one of the Donnas. And this dude was like, he just got out the joint. I was about $120 wet. And I was a stride on shirt. He slammed me on every kind of parking lot.
Man.
And they didn't break it up. That was child abuse. So guess what I did? Well, I went and I killed one of them down the streets, man. That's why I went to prison for 20 years. That's why you went to prison. I broke the truce up. I wasn't no truce after that. Wasn't no more trucing. Because when I was on the run, I was hiding out in Piru turf. Okay. And you know what the Pirus told me? Well, they say much respect for them peas. Y'all and Donna finna go to war. This finna be good. And I was smoking all the sherm I want. They was giving me sherm I want, and I'm not knowing that I didn't just
staying loaded.
Yeah, I didn't ruin my life.
Yeah, and that's what sent you up.
That's what. But it started back. It started banging, and it started banging back bad, and it caused a lot of people to lose their lives behind what I did. You know how many boys died behind what I did?
What you did.
And when I went to prison,
one incident did it.
Yeah, that one incident, because there was two big gangs, and then people had to choose sides.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
And you know, it
had a big impact on the whole. Yeah,
because after I did what I did, the Donna streets ended up killing a Piru named Spanky P, and they bought the Pirus in the war. You know, and then so
you almost single-handedly started that riff.
I started it back, bang, and I was real popular for that. I was popular for all the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons.
I was a target. Everybody, it was a green light on me from every hood from the north, and it was, to me, I had a green light on them too.
Did you ever look back and be like, man, I probably shouldn't have did that? Or was it just in the heat of the moment?
You know what? I wasn't even a human at that moment. I was a feral dog when I did what I did. I didn't have no compassion. Empathy was foreign to me. I didn't care about nothing. I didn't care if I lived. I didn't care if I died. All I care about is getting this sherm stick fired up and loading this 12 gauge up and making somebody mama cry. Period.
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it real.
Yeah. And, but that was the mind state you was in at that time.
And when I went to prison, I had to learn the hard. I'm in prison with dudes like Big Pretty, Mr. Show me what you working with, the rapist. You know, I'm in prison with this cat. You know what I'm saying? And some ferocious dudes like Bobby Thomas,
some
Ricky
Cooper,
in there, man. Horsehead, man, animals. You know what I'm saying? And white boys too. Pat McKenna. You know what I'm saying? I was in there with some cold people, man. And I had to grow up real fast. I've been stabbed twice, and I had to push the line just as hard because I was little sheepdog.
Yeah, you little sheepdog.
And I kept getting 18 months in the hole, 5 months in the hole. And one day when they gave me 5 years.
In the hole?
In the hole. God. Man, I was in the hole. I was so bad because I kept fighting the goon. I didn't have to fight with every goon squad in the state of Nevada except in Love. I was banned from Love Lock. And check this out. I done fought every goon squad in the state of Nevada. And I put up a fight for about 9 seconds. And they had me contorted and twisted, and I had boot
Wrapped
prints,
up, tied up, yeah.
borderline hematomas, all that. You know what I mean?
Man.
But I got smashed, but I wasn't no punk. See, this how my mentality was. But when I found myself in the room with nothing but a Bible in my drawers, and I was ashy as chalk, and I was cussing out my shadow, asking it why it kept following me, and stuff like that, punching the wall, breaking my hands. That wall wasn't moving. That door wasn't opening. That's when I realized, and I was asking where the devil at. Because I worshipped this dude. I was a follower of Anton LaVey. I prayed to the 13th candle. I really believed in this dude. I you know, where you at? Open this door. I'm doing all these rituals and stuff. You know, I'm indulging. I'm obeying my thirst. I'm doing everything you told me to do. But this door ain't opening. You know?
I realized then it was a lost cause, man.
And I was so ashy. If I smile, my lips will bleed. And you know what? I just fell to my knees and I just started crying.
You know,
know?
it was real. That's real.
And I surrendered.
Surrendered.
I said, you know what?
I'm done.
quit.
I'm done.
And then the healing process started because I started to cry. And I ain't never cried.
But it needed to take place. All that needed to take.
I cried for about 3 months, man. Every day. I needed to. That was anger.
And that was probably a life, you know, a whole lifehood of all that, to it just came to a point that it probably had to happen like that.
You know, when you see people get stabbed, and you see and you smell blood, and you see people hang themselves, or you see men get raped, or you get these messages, hey, doom, 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 what's up? You know they kill bread. You know,
just
all
like
this,
that.
It has a psychological effect.
I bet. I can imagine.
And I'm gonna tell you something was sad. A lot of us, we don't make it. We get out, but the psychological damage is done.
It's no healing from that standpoint.
You attract a beautiful woman because your chest is poked out, you swole, your hair didn't grew, they didn't gave you some new teeth. You got all this going for yourself, right? But your mind
is, man,
And then 3 weeks later, you back the same size you was when you went in. You done sold your teeth. You up at Bell's asking for $2.
Asking for $2,
Because your mind, your mental state. And then all you know is to go in and out of prison, in and out of prison.
You get what they call institutionalized.
It's recidivism. And I want to break that. It can be broken. I'm tired of them benefiting off of Hispanic and black blood. They didn't listen.
And
these movements are for profit. They're not for the profit.
Right.
You know, and these politicians, they ain't nothing but some shucking and jiving. Listen,
and prisons, you know, prisons on the stock market now. You can invest in prisons, man. It's a pipe. They call it the pipeline to prison. You know what I mean? And so that's the cattle. The people that's committing these crimes, that's cattle, so they can keep investing in the stock market. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
You know that before, you know, when Donald Trump's one of his well, he used to be one of his main guys, Jeff Sessions.
Sessions, yeah.
Do you know when he was the AG? Do you know what Jeff Sessions has? He's not the AG no more, but do you know what he has?
Well,
so many private prisons.
Yeah.
And
they build state of the art, super maxed out. You know, it's designed for profit.
Man, you got to understand something, man. You can go to a country the size of California with the population of 25 million. You can introduce this new military weapon method called shock and awe, and you can bomb your enemy until they surrender. Saddam Hussein, his troops literally took their uniforms off and went home because they was dropping thousands of bombs on them. It's called shock and awe. But you can't go in Chicago, Obama,
and change that.
I'm talking to Obama,
and
the
change
brother.
That.
Where you from? You can't go. You can't go over there and stop that. I'm speaking to Farrakhan too, Mr. I can bring
he
a million
right there
man.
too. He right there.
You can scare Clinton out the White House. You can run him out the White House, make him jet because you got a bunch of angry black men at Washington. But you in Chicago and you in the hub of the killing, and a lot of them vice lords fall up under you. They Muslims. And you just, this is what I'm saying. And
it's a game.
And we still got leaders with perms. We following leaders with perms.
Let's say it all.
That's why we so stagnated. And we
get
mad at the Hispanics. They don't speak English or nothing, but they know how to get
They
ahead.
know unity. They know unity, right.
Everything our people lost their lives for and died for, other races is taking advantage of it, and we mad. Why are we mad?
Why are we mad?
We want to kill and strangle.
We had the same opportunity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We want to strangle Charleston White. We want to kill him because the way what he said about, he's a house nigga.
But he's
That
telling the
house
truth.
nigga.
Yeah, he's telling, yeah.
Yeah, he is a house nigga. You know why?
Right.
Because it's better to be a house nigga than a Sambo.
Right.
And if you did
That's
your
true.
homework on Uncle Tom, Uncle Tom died. He lost his life because he wouldn't kill another slave. So what they do, they went and got Sambo. And that's who want to kill Charleston White. Because he's telling you the truth.
The truth, and you don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's our damn problem as a people. We don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah.
Until the judge say it.
Until somebody else say it. Yeah.
Until the police pull it.
That's wild.
And every time we tough until the police got us on the car, now we mama.
Yeah. It ain't now.
He called me a nigga.
Yeah. Where's all that gangsta?
Yeah.
Where's all that gangsta?
So I just want to paint a picture to these youth, a real cohesive, clear picture. I don't give a listen. I got so many so-called homeboys that's mad at me, but let me explain something to you. I never took orders. That's the difference between me and them. Kid, nobody from Herbert Gerson ever tell you, they said, I told that dude, you a goddamn lie. You know who I am? No, I told you what to do.
Yeah.
You older than me. So let's get it. So what I'm doing because I want to do it and it's necessary, and I got the kahunas to do it. Anybody can take me on my up on my challenge. I challenge any politician, judge, or whoever that see this. Send me to your worst school. I don't got no gats, no guns, no nothing, and I shut it down within 72 hours, and everybody will get along and be in their class.
Yeah. I believe it can be done. I can believe it can be done.
It can be done.
Yeah.
We just don't want to do it. We want other people to do it for us. It ain't work like that.
In our hands.
Nah.
Let me ask you a quick question before we got a couple minutes before we get out of here. What inspired Joe? And y'all check him out. He got his show on YouTube called Vegas Chronicles, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And so what inspired that your channel, man? Because it's growing. You almost drop a video once a week or a couple times. I like how you put in the content. Now, what inspired that, man, to start the Vegas Chronicles?
Look over there. That female right there.
What's her name again?
That's Miss Libra Lovely Duncan.
How you doing, Miss Lee?
Lovely.
So she and how long your platform been started? How long? When did you get this started?
A month and a half.
A month and a half?
She looked at me. She said, "Babe, I can see you talking to." I didn't want to talk to nobody. She said, "I see you talking to kids. I see you on the stage. The most powerful thing in this world is not a nuclear bomb. It's a woman's intuition. So if a woman tell you something, you better bet it. You better take it to the bank, brother."
I mean, because you got like endless content, man.
Yeah.
Just your stories, your tales. Now, what is the difference between the Vegas Chronicles from the ground up? Is that two different things?
Yeah,
or
it's two different things. From the ground up was actually my life story growing up being the son of a gang leader. Okay. And and Vegas Chronicles is it's
just more broad. That's more.
It adds everything because to me, the Michael Finleys, guys like that. We produced some noble guys like Michael Finley. I mean, that was the guy that had the balls to go deep into the blue north. And put a red flag down there and start Hollywood. He started Hollywood, and and then the second oldest blood gang rose up under Ricky Cooper and Ted and Big Clyde. They started the PBs. You know what I'm saying? And the PBs was ferocious. We produced some like Mad Meats, and Stacey Macklemore, Big Cheetah. You know what I mean? Big Dave Hall, Master G, Dirty Rob, Cornbread. All these cats, Tony Poole. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny
Kevin
that you know major cats from every set.
And they know me.
Every set. Every set.
Every set. Because I used
set
to
and
war
almost
with
the
them.
whole era. The
whole era. The real ones. Like my era was the most dangerous. The worst era. The most shootings was on Donna Street. Donna Street had most shootings than any other neighborhood in the history of Las Vegas.
That's crazy.
That's statistics. It's been most shootings on Donna.
Man.
Because see, what Donna did, what people don't know, in the back it used to be trains and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They hit a train and they got a crate of guns.
Did they?
Donna was the first ones to have what
it's
was
a train track, right? That runs right, but you right, you show right.
They the first ones that was running around with what was known as fullies. A fully automatic.
Fully automatic.
They have fullies. The Donna, that's why they were so treacherous, and everybody wanted to be them.
They came a long way from pop locking and breakdancing. Then
man, listen, they was the best dancers. Can you imagine getting beat up by a bunch of dudes look like Michael Jackson?
Yeah, ready for the world looking cats, man.
And will beat the brakes off you.
They had hands.
Yeah.
Speaking of hands, man, what about I guess you had a lot of success on the Hand Guys series. Now explain that a little bit. Hand Guys.
It was just people that was known for fighting male or female.
That was before gunplay though.
That's when it was because people went home and you lived to fight another day.
Yeah,
that's what it was about. Like
you had to really scrap.
Yeah, listen. back in the days, we used to pride ourselves in walking to people's territory. We walked to everyone in the territory. We wasn't finna walk way over there to Northtown to Donna Street or the hood, you know. But we walked to Paru turf and West Coast and the PB turf. And I'm going to tell you, you know, out of all the fights we had, the PBs and the Parus, them Parus and them PBs fight hard.
They fight hard.
Man, look here. Look here, man. People like Stanley Mack.
Yeah.
You got people like Melly Mel.
Yeah.
People like Webbo. People like Big Red. People like Red Bird.
Legend hand gods.
Look.
Legendary.
Look, Stanley Mack was knocking some of my homies out running backwards.
Is he a big cat?
No, he just know how to box.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of dudes like Stacy McElmo.
I heard his name.
Stacy McElmo retired Big Cheetah. Big Cheetah was Mr. Break Yourself. He don't want to come around the corner and break yourself. That means get up against the wall. He going up in your pocket.
Yeah.
But when he ran into Stacy, Stacy a beast, man. Stacy, man. Look,
it sounds like a lot of cats from the movie Friday D.Fos, like the real D.Fos type cats.
Look, Stacy did knock so many people out. It ain't even funny,
For real?
man. Stacy McElmo listen, it's Stacy McElmo, George Gordon from GQ.
I'm about to ask you, did you know George Gordon?
Yeah, come on now.
His brother boxed, ST Gordon boxed, right?
George
I was
Gordon
going to ask you if you knew George.
Now,
Big George.
Remember George
Big
beat
George.
Butterbean? Remember he whooped Butterbean? He whooped Butterbean.
Yep, he sure did.
Okay,
right.
Big George Gordon is, I say, big from the north, the three toughest to me is Stacy McElmo, George Gordon, and I'm going to say the toughest, people going to say, nah, I don't believe that, Rock Sheba, Curtis Lockhart.
I heard of Lockhart. I heard that family named Lockhart.
Man, Rock Sheba ain't nothing in the north whooping that. Can't nobody in the north say they whoop Rock Sheba. And
That's crazy.
And I'm gonna keep it
that's
real.
Your top three, huh?
Man, listen, ain't nothing in the north whooping Rock Sheba.
Wow.
I'm keeping it real.
Wow.
You know, back in that era, wasn't nobody trying to see that boy. Wasn't too many people trying to see Stacy McElmo, Wayne Gant.
They ain't want him with them
Dirty
cats,
Rob.
man.
No, absolutely not.
Man,
You would get hurt. Then you had
wild.
the Gunners. You know, and that was people like the Ponchos, the Cornbreads, the Tony Pools,
The Gunners, what you mean, like
the Lil Draws, the E-Wax, the Shooters.
The Shooters,
the
okay.
Killers.
But that was another era, the Shooters.
Yeah, that was my era.
Okay,
We
Shooters.
we had Hawaiian Silks and Liege Max. We didn't want to get them messed up, so we started shooting people to keep our curls
I
clean.
remember a lot of them cats from had the perms and stuff too.
Yeah, they had perm. A lot of people had perm. It depended on what you was doing and how. See, a lot of dudes used to think gangbanging was having a car with some McLeans on it, a nice little Hawaiian Silky, a 38, and a bag of redhead cess, and drinking a 40, rolling around, cussing the dude out every night. That ain't putting in no work. When have you put on your flags and got in the car with the latex on and wipe your bullets off and load them up, go out, go to your enemy turf, hang out the window like a cobra and spray it up? When have you did that?
That's crazy.
They won't do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I did that a lot. And I have to live with that.
Yeah.
And I don't want other people's children to live with that. I don't. I want to stop making these goddamn cemeteries. People got to die, but not like this.
Not like that.
Let's stop making it. And you know what? Now I'm gonna stop saying let's. I'm gonna do it because I'm tired of asking these MFs to get up off these. You know what I'm saying? Y'all so quick to want to go spit in the police face because you can get away with it because everybody mad because George Floyd got killed. You know what I'm saying? But what about the people that stayed next door? What about when your next door neighbor just got his head blew off the other night by a such and such from that neighborhood? Why y'all not out here tripping and
in your own community, in your backyard?
What they make us? Hypocrites, right?
Hypocrites, yeah.
That's not a movement. Our ancestors is literally rolling in their graves. Black women have hit us, black males, with a hex so cold because we was made to protect her. And we've turned on her. We went for saying, how you doing, queen, to B-I-T-C-H.
You're right.
Take the gravel.
Yeah.
It's pimping with me.
All day.
You see what you mean it's pimping with you?
Right.
So she released something up on you, say, oh, it's pimping with you? Okay, you don't want to be here with your sons. And now our sons is killing our sons. So she go teach us a lesson. So that boot that we think the white man got on her neck, that ain't no boot, that's a heel. A high heel.
A high heel.
That black one, and until we do right by her, we ain't gonna never do right. And I hope they listening.
Yeah, I hope so.
It ain't no white man problem. It ain't no police problem. It's a we don't want to face reality and understand that the biggest threat to another black man is a black man problem.
A black man, right. My brother said that. He said, as blacks, we do some of the coldest stuff to each other, man. You know what I mean? Coldest stuff to each other. But, man, we're going to wrap it up here. We got a couple more minutes, man. We definitely going to have you back, you know, because there's a lot more we need to get into.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want to leave the people with, man, based on right now, man?
Never sacrifice your for shows for other people's maybes, you know, and focus on yourself. God equipped you with everything you need to live, learn, and live a decent life in life. You don't need no homies. Reclaim your individuality. It's a God-given right for you to be responsible for your own fingerprints.
Right.
And I'm going to tell to a youth, what I would tell them is I know how it feels to not want to be perceived as something weak or punk or something. But let me tell you this here. I've been to the deepest hole that the state of Nevada can put a person. The only thing left for me was death. And you don't have to be proved that you are tough by going through that. Sometimes you can walk away from a battle to win the war.
Yeah.
You know, and
Absolutely.
the war is your life. The war is you waking up in the morning. So the battle is a measly art. Dude scuffed up your suit. The dude called you a word. Some people think what's worth fighting for, worth killing for.
Yeah, is it worth dying for?
Yeah. So we got to really start asking ourselves questions. Do I want to get in this car with these dudes? Start questioning yourself, man. It's okay to, you know, if they say, man, you a mark, you weak. Okay, I'm a mark, I'm gonna be weak, I'm gonna be that 10 years from now when your ass on death row.
Yeah.
You know, so it's okay to be yourself, and whatever yourself is, be the best self you can be. To hell with what they think. That's what's wrong. That's why we always stigmatize to one goddamn leader, because we think with a crowd mentality. And when a person come with an opposing view like Charleston White or me or any, I'm not like Charleston White. I'm nothing like
But
him.
you like to say it's the opposing view.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bringing a refresh idea and pointing out the obvious. We want to shun them.
Yeah.
I want these youngsters to know that ain't how.
Because it goes against the herd mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
And if you go be a leader, you got to go against the social norms.
And you take all that as a leader. You know what I mean? You got it comes with the game. You know what I mean? As being a leader. And I always say you can make the choice, but the consequences sold separately.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a whole different deal, man. You know, it's a whole different deal. Well, I appreciate you, Terrell, man. Absolutely, man. A lot of wisdom been dropped, man. A lot of words, man. Thank you for being transparent. You know what I'm saying? Man. You know, revealing your story, man. And we're definitely going to have you back, bro, and get to it, because you got a lot of content. So check him out on YouTube, Terrell Stewart, Vegas Chronicles, from the ground up, man. This dude got a lot of things to say. He's going places. Look for him, man. Check him out. I appreciate you coming by, man. Streets of Vegas.
Streets of Vegas. Before I go,
Vegas Site Media Network.
Shout out to Foolish P. Shout out to everybody that support me. Shout out to Swab Rob. Shout out to BG. Everybody that supported me in a positive manner, man. I know I feel y'all, and I'm going to push the line for positivity, and we going to get it right.
Absolutely. Terrell Stewart, like he like to say, the big homie.
The big homie.
Streets of Vegas, we out.
All right.
The streets